Good evening. Welcome to our program here on Inside Bicol. And tonight, we're going to be discussing on how you transact business with the Register of Deeds here in Naga. Aramtan na a lot of you there have some properties, have bought properties, have taken a loan. And part of the requirement is you need to register with the Register of Deeds. That's why tonight, that will be our discussion on how to transact with the Register of Deeds. And my guest for tonight is Attorney Glenn Perillo. He is the one who is in charge of the Register of Deeds of the City of Naga. He studied at the University of Nueva Cáceres, finished mechanical engineering, later on took up law. Now he is in charge of the Register of Deeds here in Naga. Welcome, attorney, sa muyang programa digdi sa Inside Bicol.
Hi, good evening, Sir Fred.
Okay.
And then good evening also to the viewers.
Okay, good. Aram mo, attorney, we're seen here on the various cable companies. Ikaw man sa ito nagdadalan sa abroad through live streaming and also dyan sa mga free-to-air TV. And I'm sure that a lot of them will be interested on how they can transact business with the Register of Deeds. So siguro, we start our discussion by tell us a little about ano ang Register of Deeds, ano ang pinaka-primary function ng Register of Deeds.
Well, the Registry of Deeds of Naga City as of now is classified only as second-class city. It is not yet being elevated or updated into a first-class registry. The Registry of Deeds of Naga City as of now, we are just, the position is only for 13 employees. But as of now, we have only 9 employees plus one detail from the ROD Kamsur because there are also Registry of Deeds for the province of Kamsur. The Registry of Deeds of Naga is only handling properties or contract or dealings involving properties here in Naga. If you have properties in outside Naga, you have to deal it with the Registry of Deeds of Kamsur. Well, as to the function of the Registry of Deeds, well, our function is, the primary function of the Registry of Deeds is a repository of records. Well, it means we are custodian of the records. And also, it is our duty to immediately register documents which are presented for registration, which complies with all the requirements. Even to make sure that the document presented to us bears documentary stamp is also a function of the Registry of Deeds, and to cancel it, to properly cancel it, is also a duty of the Registry of Deeds.
Okay, now I understand there are several book of accounts that you have. Can you tell us about this? Ano mga?
The Registry of Deeds, we have 3 books. We have book under Act 496. This is book which involve transaction involving registered land. In this book, we registered all contracts that being applied to us for registration that is involving properties that are already titled. We have also book under Act 3344. In this book, we registered those transactions or instrument that being applied to us for registration involving properties which is still untitled. We have also a book under Act 1508. In this book, we registered those contract involving chattel mortgage. So not all properties, not all personal properties are subject for registration. This is the personal properties that only subject of chattel mortgage. But in the computerized system, we have also added another book, which is miscellaneous, and then personal property. In this personal property, under this is the transaction involving shares of stock, well, through extrajudicial settlement or any transaction.
Okay. Saro-saroon to attorney because I'm sure that will pinagdadalan sa tuya na interested maaraman ang mga requirements saka yung procedure. Let's talk about itong inaapodang registration of deed of sale. Ano yan ang mga requirements, and then how do they go to the process? Yung first.
Yes, Sir Fred. The process, I want to talk first about the process, that being the workflow in our office. First, you have to present your document, which we'll later on talk about it to the document. But the document should be presented with the entry clerk. We call it entry clerk. The entry clerk, after you present it the document, she will encode into the computerized system the document that you have presented in the office. And then instantly after he encoded the document and the name of the presenter and the parties, it would generate entry number. As of now, we are calling it EB number, which means electronic primary entry number. So the moment the entry clerk enters the document in the computerized system, it generates EB number. So if someone told you that the document is already in the registry of deeds, you could verify it by asking the EB number. If he cannot give you the entry number, well, it means it is not yet entered in our registry. So that is the job of the entry clerk. After the entry clerk encoded the necessary facts, and then it would generate the EB number, and then it would print assessment order. This assessment order contain the amount that you would pay. Because the fees, as of now, it is being generated by our computer. The computation is being done in our computer. All the entry clerk should do is just only to type how much, how many document, how much the amount, how much the assessed value, and then it is the computer who already, the system is the one who already will compute the registration fees. After the assessment order is given to you, you will be advised to go to the cashier. We call it POS. In POS, the one who handle the POS is the cashier. And doon lang po kayo magbabayad. Sa cashier lang. Sa ibang proseso, wala. So you would pay at the cashier. After you already paid, he would go now to the, this is the usual process.
Okay.
He would go to the encoder. In encoder, he would type the necessary transaction, and after the encoder, we have examiner. After the examiner, we have the approval. After approval, it would go to the printing, and then uploading, and then releasing. That is the workflow for ordinary.
Now, what are the basic documents na kaipuan i-attach niya duman sa dokumento? Igwa na siya ng deed of sale. Okay? Na may gibo na siya abogado ninda. Ano ang mga attachment dyan tanganing ma-register dyan sa Register of Deeds?
Yes, Sir Fred. The requirements, because we want the public to know that there are two aspects that is involved in our requirements. First, we call it as documentary requirements. Okay. Actually, this documentary requirements, this is a formal requisite of a registrable document. And then we have also the registration requirement. The registration requirement, these are the document that should be presented in support of the main document. Okay. So if we talk with the documentary requirements, this requirement is required by the PD 1529. This is the name of the parties, the object of the contract, how it should be described, and then the consideration as to the amount, and then that it should be in the form of notary public, that it should be signed in all pages by the parties and their witnesses. These are the formal requisites. And this is already available in our office. Okay? And as to the document that should be presented for registration in support of the documents, okay? We have the owner's duplicate copy.
Owner's duplicate.
The owner's duplicate copy, it should be accompanied by the document.
Okay.
It depends upon your transaction. If it is sale, we have the deed of absolute sale. If donation, deed of donation. And if it is extrajudicial settlement, it is an extrajudicial settlement. Well, the common or basic requirement is the owner's duplicate copy.
Okay.
Because this transaction, we considered it or we called it as voluntary transaction. So the owner's duplicate copy is needed or required to be presented to us. And also the BIR card.
The BIR.
The BIR card is BIR Certificate Authorizing Registration.
Okay.
This requirement is you can get it to the BIR.
The BIR.
And we have also the transfer tax.
Transfer tax.
Proof of payment of transfer tax. This requirement, you can get this requirement with the City Treasurer's Office. And then the tax declaration, which you can get it to the City Assessor's Office. And then the realty tax clearance. If you transact to us in this year, if it is transfer of title, you are required to present to us a realty tax clearance up to the fourth quarter of this year. At the time you presented the document you applied for registration. So up to the fourth quarter of 2013, that is the clearance that you need to secure from the City Treasurer's Office. And then we have the registration fees, which is being paid in our office. And aside from this common, this is the basic requirement. But there are also circumstances surrounding the transaction that requires also additional requirement. Like if the subject property is an agricultural or it is under the operation of the CARP law, you have to secure first the clearance. And then the affidavit of the transferee that the acquisition of that property is that his land holdings would not exceed up to 5 hectares. So that is so this requirement is also prepared in our office. It is hard copy. You have only to do is to ask it in the officer of the take.
Okay, so ang mga kaipampalan, kung ano ma-register, nagbakal ka mo nilaga, of course, itong deed of sale, number one, and then you also have to bring yung ownership duplicate, kasi mas titulo. The other one is itong tax declaration, and then itong tax payment, updated, halid duman sa city. Then of course, yung BIR na authorized na i-register si properties.
Yes.
Okay. So these are dapat natandaan nindo. Pagkatapos, sabi ito nga ni, kung ito under CARP, kaya po naman ng clearance. So, in short, before you go to the register of this, dapat may mga requirements na ini, yaon na. Tanganing mabilis ang pag-transact ng business. Okay, so we will pause for a while. When we return, we'll continue with our discussions here. So don't go away.